What's going on, guys? Tantalize Gaming here, and I'm excited to bring you guys another video today. My internet went down for like 5 days, so I wasn't really able to post anything, so I apologize about that. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about Destruction in comparison to Affliction. Obviously, for those of us that play Warlock, we saw that Destruction had their Chaos Bolt buffed by 22%. So kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit in this video, but also I have a guilty confession to make. I have to say, guys, I've been playing both specs now, Destruction and Affliction, quite a bit since the expansion launched. I've been really working hard to get legendaries for both specs, to get conduits for both specs, and I have to say, I really like Destruction a lot more for PvE than I do Affliction. So I don't mind Affliction for raiding, for killing raid bosses and stuff. It's pretty fun to do Affliction as far as DPS goes in that aspect. But for Torghast and for your Mythic dungeons and things like that, I like Destruction a lot more. So in this video, I kind of wanted to cover a guide that I've been using for Destruction Warlock in a Mythic dungeon / Torghast aspect, and also kind of talk about a little bit about like what powers in Torghast I feel are the strongest right now and that really sync well with the talents and things that I've been using for Destruction Warlock. So let's jump into it, guys. Alright, guys, so the stats that you're really going to want to focus on is Haste and Mastery. I don't really main PvE. I tried to do a lot more PvP content, so you're going to see probably not as high numbers as you would with someone that has full Haste Masked. A lot of my gear is Haste Burst, so but I am trying to do both to get both Haste Masked and Haste Burst gear, so I can have both sets. Anyway, so in the screenshot you can see kind of the gear layout I have. I believe I'm like 17% Haste and I think like 26 or 27% Mastery. I am using a PvP trinket there. The PvP trinket is just one that gives you a lot of haste, and then also will give you like a large intellect buff. I feel like this can be pretty strong with your Rain of Fire spams that you're going to see me doing throughout this video. That's kind of the whole setup of the build that I'm going to be showing you guys for Torghast and for Mythic Dungeons. So the second trinket I have on is just another PvE trinket. Essentially, while you're damaging, it's going to summon a minion that's going to run out towards people and detonate. The more people, the more damage it does. So yeah, guys, just focus on getting your haste and mastery as high as you can if what you're doing is PvE, and that's kind of what I've been doing. As far as talents go, you're really pretty much sticking to the left of the talent board except for your Reign of Chaos. Everything just really revolves around getting shards, spamming Rain of Fires, especially when you're using your Infernal, trying to get as many Infernals down on the ground. The conduit that you're going to be running with this is Infernal Brand. That conduit essentially makes your emulation aura from your Infernals deal additional damage. So make sure you have that conduit on, or this build really loses a lot of its potential. And then like your level 40 row, that's kind of optional. I just went with Shadow Fury because it gives you a little bit more radius on your stun, as well as I believe it like lasts a little bit longer, or it has a shorter cooldown. I know in Torghast, there's things you can pick up to make it last longer. So it really helps you capitalize on stunning people in place and then summoning Infernal and then Rain of Fire, Rain of Fire, Rain of Fire. So you'll see that kind of happen in this video, but that's really the main thing to focus on when selecting these talents, is anything that helps your Infernal and your Rain of Fires. Alright, guys, so essentially you're going to start out by emulating at least 2 to 3 targets. Sometimes you don't need the extra shards, but just do it anyway. You'll get full shards, drop your Infernal, use your first Rain of Fire, use your trinkets if you have them, and then pretty much keep spamming your Rain of Fire. So you just use Rain of Fire again, over and over and over again. And as you can see, it's a huge amount of damage. Super fun. All those Infernals down on the ground chasing people, super fun. And as you can see there, most of my damage is coming from my Rain of Fire and most notably my Infernal aura. So Again, Infernal Brand, having 5 Infernals down on the ground, just thumping on stuff with that conduit is super good right now. Alright guys, so we're going to jump into Torghast here for this next little bit of the guide. This is layer 8, and I just wanted to emphasize really quick on this power on the right here. Essentially, what it does is it makes your Infernal last twice as long. It's 100% increased duration, as well as has a 50% chance to consume a soul. That being one of the remnant souls that you're able to pick out throughout the dungeon. If it does consume one of the remnant souls, then the damage of the Infernal is increased by 100%. So, really good, super strong ability to have with Destro, with the current talent setup that we have here. Alright guys, so this is the first really like highlight of this floor, using the power and the talent setup that I have here. So I'm going to quickly play that so you guys can kind of see what it looks like. Keep in mind again, this is layer 8, and with this current setup, there were a lot of floors where I was pulling 2, 3, 4 packs at a time, so super fun. Alright guys, I just wanted to show the damage meter again really quick and emphasize again on Infernal Aura being my top damage, even after all those Rain of Fires, just to reiterate how good Infernal Brand is as a conduit with this talent setup. So, here's a preview of some single target damage. So I, again, get going with an Infernal drop, and single target, I usually will spam Chaos Bolts instead of just Rain of Fire. Which still you're spending shards and you're getting a lot of damage off the Chaos Bolt. So to go back on that 22% buff that Destruction got, I've definitely noticed a difference. I feel like my Chaos Bolts used to hit for maybe between like 4 and 5k, and now I'm seeing an average of 6 to 8. So definitely an increase there. One thing I did want to put in as well is that I'm not even using the right legendary for this. Because I primarily PvP, I went and farmed out the horrible raid boss Sludge Fist and got the Azjukir Cinders, I believe is what it's called, essentially giving you an extra charge of Conflagurate. So that's what I've been using throughout this entire run. But Wilfred's Sigil of Superior Summoning, the legendary that enables you to get your Infernal reduced by, I believe it's 1.5 seconds for every shard you spend, is the legendary to go with this setup. So I'm definitely planning on crafting that next week. I already have the recipe, I just need the Soul Ash at this point, so next week that's what I'll be crafting, and I'm really excited to see how much even better this setup is with that legendary in place. So alright guys, here we are. This is the last floor for layer 8. Just kind of showing you what powers I've been able to collect so far. So this was the first one, as I showed you, that I collected, essentially making your Infernal last longer. I managed to get 3 stacks of your Chaos Bolt for funding shards. I have a lower cooldown. I would have liked more of these throughout the run. I feel like that would have been a lot stronger. And in fact, if you can, during your runs, try to prioritize getting those. With Wilfred's, I'm sure you could get Infernal probably down to like 40 seconds. So that would be really strong. Have some crit damage. And then I managed to get 2 of these. I believe these affect your Infernal, but I'm not entirely sure. So a lot of kind of your more basic ones, but this one here is kind of the main one that I was hoping for this run, and managed to get it. So I'm going to show you really quick, guys. what this build looks like on the final boss, floor 6 of layer 8. So here we go. So before I actually start this fight, I wanted to point out that I do have my Phantasmic Infuser on as well. I was able to get a Fleeting Frenzy Potion from the, I believe, floor 3 from the seller at that floor. So anyway, guys, here we go. Get some full shards here. Pop that. We'll get it going. Doing a little over a solid 9k DPS here. And that's the layer. So, super easy, guys. That build, super awesome and fun. Go ahead and try it out and let me know if you guys have any suggestions or anything you feel is doing better right now. Alright, guys, so that pretty much wraps up my video for today. Thank you guys for watching. Know that I, in no way, shape, or form, consider myself like an elite PvEer as far as Warlocks go. I think there's a lot better PvEers out there, especially people like Kalamazoo and things like that. If you're looking to really be an optimalist about PvE as a Warlock, I would probably look at some guides and things from people like Kalamazoo and some other of your like really top high Mythic Dungeoners and Raiders and things like that. For me though, I've kind of just been experimenting with things and just wanted to show you guys a build that I really enjoy and have a lot of fun with, both through damage, through just the function of your rotation, as well as like aesthetically, like seeing all your infernals and stuff drop down is pretty cool. So anyway, that's just kind of my 2 cents right now about Destruction Warlocks in Torghast and Mythic Dungeons. So thanks again for watching, guys, and we will catch you on the next one.